Today I'm going to give you my experience using the iPad for 1 week. It finally arrived about a week ago. Ordered it about a month ago, and it took forever to arrive. But it came, and did it live up to the hype? So this is my point of view of using the iPad on pretty much a day-to-day basis for exactly 1 week. I like it. I like it a lot. One thing I would recommend anybody who buys an iPad is probably order a cover, something that has a back on it too. I have the cover that goes on the top, that cover that snaps to it, the magnets, but the back is very, very slippery, and so it feels like it almost wants to fall out of your hands or slip out of your hands. It helps with when you have the cover on to give you something to hold on to, but this back part is really, really slippery. Like it's just really slippery. I haven't bought a new case for it yet. I think it's a Kragen for the first gen. It looks like it turns into a damn tough book. Kind of takes away from its thinness and its lightweightness, but overall it gives you some good handles to hold on to. So let's go ahead and take a look at the iPad itself. Okay, so here's the iPad itself. Now right away, I've used a few of the old iPads, or the first gens at people's houses, and even though they have half as much RAM and no dual-core processor, I never found them that slow. Although this one, there again, it's just really, really snappy. Everything opens up really quick, and it's just really fluent. The web browser just pops open. The internet speed is great, and I find myself using it on the couch all the time. I even have a laptop sitting next to me. It's an older one, so it's a lot slower, but this one is just fantastic for browsing the internet. And so you're saying, well, it's kind of an expensive internet browsing device. Well, that's true. But you can do a whole bunch more. I mean, there's specific news apps for the thing. For instance, I saw one on Newen that was covering the Bing app. That one's just pretty. And it's a very good web browsing device. And here you can do the search, voice search. I've used it a few times. I don't really go in here a lot. I don't really surf the internet that much. I basically just check on the sites that I gotta bookmark a few sites like Neo and stuff, and typing on the iPad is surprisingly easy. You can really type pretty quick. I wouldn't want to write an entire book on the iPad, and the location of the enter key kind of drives me nuts. Like I wish you could like remove keys from the keyboard on certain applications, because as I'm typing, I always use my pinky to go to the L or the comma, and I usually end up pressing enter instead. So as I'm typing, that kind of annoys me. Now, I'm not going to deduct any points from my overall rating of the iPad because it doesn't have flash. I knew it didn't have flash. I knew that going in. I knew it buying it. So it's not like I got surprised. There's a few times when I kind of wish it had flash. I tried to view some stuff on a few websites, but overall, I'm not missing flash that much. The games on here are pretty good. I have Puzzle Quest 2. That's kind of addicting. But yeah, the thing performs great doing games. And like Carbonite, to view your files locally from the internet, being able to access all of your documents. It's almost like kind of like a Dropbox carrying all your important documents with you. That's pretty cool. If we take a look, I gotta find it here. The one cool app, because this thing doesn't have any kind of SD card slot where you can put on your own videos, you can download an app, one free, one paid, called Air Video. You put a server on your computer and you point it to your video directory, and it actually converts the videos on the fly. So here's some Dignation videos that are actually downstairs on my computer that I ride my bike to every day. But all you do is click on Play Live Conversion, and it converts it on the fly, full screen. It takes a second or so to start. And it's very smooth.
Brought to you by HostGator, green energy web hosting. Get 20% off your order with revision 3.
And if you would have any other kind of cool content you want to stream, that works pretty good too. People are always saying, well, isn't it just a oversized iPod Touch? Well, yeah, and that's good. The iPod Touch, while only at a, what is it, 4 or 3 to 4 inches big, it's a great little device. The iOS is fantastic. Problem is, there's certain things that you need a bigger screen to do. Yeah, it's exactly like an iPod Touch. It's a lot bigger. And yes, that's a good thing. People were complaining about the bezel. I mean, it's got a good grip, good place to hold on to without touching the screen. So the bevel, you need the bevel. Like they say, for video chatting, the cameras, they're the iPod Touch cameras. They suck. But for video chatting, it's great. People were complaining there was no Skype app on this thing natively for the iPad. But I don't know, let me look here. If you load the one that comes, just the iPad, or not the iPad, but the iPod app. Let me look here. Yeah, I mean, it looks like crap. I mean, it's a little bit blurry. It's not crisp, but it's fully operational. I mean, I don't see a problem with it. You can type. Like here's the phone I have Skype out. I mean, that works just fantastic. Video calling. I mean, when you put the other person full screen, even though it is 2x, it looks fine. I mean, yeah, it's a little, kind of looks like ass a little bit, but I've done quite a few video calls and quite a few telephone calls, and they say I sound just as good as my USB microphone downstairs. So the thing must have a really good microphone. VNC is kind of fun. It's actually what I use VNC for is downstairs I have a server ring that has my outdoor security cameras on there, so on this thing I can actually look at my driveway from here as I'm sitting on the couch. Mainly because I have customers that always arrive to drop computers off, and this way I'm alerted that they're coming before they ring the doorbell. And I can actually view this remotely too from my IP address. That's kind of cool. I love the IMDb app. That's a great app. The CNBC app is really kind of cool. If I can find it. Let's see. It's kind of funny. I was laying in bed, or I was with the iPad, or it was sitting next to me as I was watching TV, and all of a sudden this thing popped up and said, "Breaking news: Japan's nuclear level has been risen to 7, since the largest since Chernobyl." And it's kind of cool. It actually pushes breaking news to you from the CNBC app. And the thing was just going nuts this morning. I don't know what all the breaking news was. I kind of forgot to disable it. So that's kind of cool. I mean, but overall, I can see myself using this a lot. I don't see myself not using it any less next week. I mean, like for instance, if you go to the email section, here's all my things from Neowin. Whenever somebody responds to a new email message or a new thread on Neowin, I just go ahead and check it and then click the link, and it takes me right to the Neowin post. I love it. It's a great little device. This one's only a Wi-Fi 16 gigabyte model, and I'm hardly even using up even half of the 16 gigs. I don't do music or movies, and the TV shows and movies I do, I stream from my other machine. I do a few games, but I think the largest one was 500 megabytes, so it's really not that big. But yeah, I love the little snap cover. Sometimes you might think you have it folded just right, but it's not actually. It's not right, so as you bend it down, it just collapses. So you just want to make sure you have this secure, because it always. Oh, here we go, a CNBC app. We'll go ahead and close that. And the flipbook is kind of nice, where you can actually type in certain websites that you want content from, because I think I had Neowin on here. I thought I had Neowin on here. Let's do tech. And these are the latest tech newses. The reason I bought this thing is because it had all the apps in the App Store, upwards of 30,000-40,000 applications. Yes, some farting apps, but they did have a lot more applications than the Zoom from Motorola. So that's one reason I bought it. Yes, Flash content would be nice, but overall, like HTML5 and those kind of players, and I rarely miss the Flash. A few times, but that's just my overview of actually owning the iPad. I mean, it's a really great device. I'd recommend it to anybody. I mean, and people say, you know, I wish it had the Retina display. Well, I don't think the Retina display is so important on the iPad as it was on the iPod Touch. I mean, on the iPod Touch and the iPhone, you're viewing very small text on a very small screen, and so you need the extra resolution to be able to see that, right? Because I mean, it's only a 3 to 4 inch screen. With the iPad, I mean, websites look just fine. I mean, I can read that. I don't see the need to go any lower resolution. I'm not sure you could, but the way the resolution is now, it's just it's just fine. I don't see the need for a Retina display. I mean, that text is completely readable. So, I mean, yeah, it'd be nice to have, but I wouldn't just wait for that before you run out and buy your next iPad. They say it'll be released this year. I highly doubt that. They're going to do a one year per release for the iPad, given the fact they're pretty much smoking the competition. But that's just my brief overview of the iPad. And so yeah, I like it. I recommend it. And see you later.